So maybe you've asked yourself this thousands of times: why were you chosen as the scapegoat of the family? Why is it that you were made to wear all the shame and the guilt of the family? Well, let's take a look at this from a higher perspective in terms of your soul's growth. It's likely that you were somebody or are somebody who is very sensitive to the people and energies around you. You can see through injustices and when people are telling lies. Now, from your soul's growth perspective, it's likely that you had to learn certain things in this lifetime. Because when you are the scapegoat of a family, which, by the way, the term came from Leviticus in the Bible, where the priest would perform a ritual over the head of a goat and cast it out into the isolation of the wilderness, so that the village didn't have to bear the weight of their own sins, guilt and shame. But why were you chosen? Because it's likely that you have a much higher purpose here. You have maybe always felt quite open spiritually to there being something more. The thing is, when you are cast as the scapegoat, we're often left seeking the approval and the love from people who are unable to provide for our emotional needs. As hard as it is to hear, they're not capable of giving you the love that you're capable of giving, because narcissistic individuals don't love themselves. They're not capable of it. So if they can't love themselves, they're not going to love you. You are, in fact, the light of the family, the one who is the strong one, who is able to call out the obvious injustices and wrongs. And for that, you will be cast out. But let's look at it, as I said before, from this higher perspective. God isn't asking us to seek the approval and love of people, even if that is your own family. God is always asking us to seek his approval. And therefore, you have to be the strong one to stand up, to break those generational traumas, to break those chains, so that you no longer go on enabling the sins of others. Now, if you could look at yourself as a beautiful tree, then every person, every experience that you have in this lifetime is like a tree. Some branches grow off and the twigs grow off from the branches, and it looks like they don't lead anywhere. But when you stand back, when you look at that tree from a higher perspective, then you can see the growth and the beauty in it all. If you feel called for a higher purpose by God, your higher power, then sometimes that is going to require a very necessary and painful stripping away of all that no longer serves you. God will cut every branch of your tree, and you will be remade into something to serve that purpose. Now, that might mean that other people are going to judge you. They're not going to see you, and they're not going to appreciate you, and they won't understand what it is that you're going through. And that's okay. That's the world we live in, isn't it? Jesus died on a wooden cross. You know, Jesus had to bear the weight and the sins of the whole world. And when you start serving your purpose, God's purpose, then people are going to start nailing you, judging you. It's not going to be easy. But that's your soul's purpose. You're not seeking the approval of people. You're seeking the approval of God. And that, yes, can be painful, challenging, and sometimes quite a lonely path. I hope that explains, because many people who end up in these narcissistic families, who end up being the scapegoats of these families, are actually very, very spiritually aware people. The journey is certainly not an easy one, but just trust in your path, and that you always have the light of God behind you, always. God bless.